Hi everyone, welcome back. So we're going to talk about the Critical Drinker's video that he made talking about how he's going to fix Supergirl, a movie that's not out yet. Now, why am I making this video? The Critical Drinker is doing the same thing he did that kind of annoyed me for when he made videos talking about the new Star Trek show. Just posting videos within a few days of each other. It's about a 10-day gap. He can't think of anything to make for this week, so he decides to make another video about another sci-fi show or something involving nerdy stuff. And it pisses me off that it's the same topic and there's one video in between and you can see it's a week apart. Could you not think of something to make? Like, could you not just leave that topic until the movie comes out? Let the movie come out, Drinker. You got 2 months to wait now. What are you going to do? But yeah, we're going to talk about it, and we're going to talk about some bad points. I'm excited. Are you excited?
Female-led superhero movies don't tend to make money. Hey, don't hate me for telling inconvenient truths. And don't just take my word for it either. The numbers speak for themselves.
Movies don't tend to make money. How many female movies are there? 9. So, I mean, and 2 of them made decent amount of money, okay? Other ones, like Black Widow, would have made better money if it came out, not during COVID. ScarJo had to go into a little court battle with Disney about that. So, I don't know, you're not being completely honest here, Drinker. Yeah. And 9 movies? We're under 10 here.
In the past decade, there's been 9 major female-led superhero movies in theaters, and of those 9, only 3 have actually managed to turn a profit. Captain Marvel, Wakanda Forever, and Wonder Woman. That means only 1 in 3 female-led superhero movies from the past decade have actually succeeded.
COVID was a thing. It really affected things. Also, like, when the Marvels came out, there was an actor's strike. Wakanda Forever did make a lot of money because it was a good first movie. The way you word this in your video is saying it's because, again, so the way you word it for Black Panther is like, oh, they imported a character. She was in the first movie. It makes sense that she would step up and be the next person. We were unprepared for the passing of that actor. Sorry, I can't do names. Why can't I remember his name? Anyways, sorry for the passing of that actor, but, things happen. They did the best they could. The way you're wording this, though, is that, like, the movie didn't do as good because of a female actor now in the lead.
And out of those 3, Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel both came out before the decline of superhero movies in general, and both of those crashed out with disastrous sequels that brought in 80% less than their predecessors. The only film to buck the trend here is Wakanda Forever, which ported a female character in to replace the male lead of the previous film after the actor passed away in real life. It's kinda hard to gauge the merits of this film on its own, because in some ways it was coasting on the massive success of the first Black Panther movie, although I would point out that it made $500 million less at the box office.
Again, I give you examples about why movies didn't do as well. You're not talking about the many movies which has failed with male leads. Like, you're acting like this is a uncommon thing. You had in your the 9 movies involving, female actors. One of them was Madam Web. Kraven the Hunter did almost, I think, probably worse. Yeah, Kraven the Hunter did about. You're kind of trying to talk about. You're kind of doing a message here. You're trying to make a message about something, but you're not being completely honest, are you, Drinker? Also, guys, I do like Supergirl. I'm excited for Supergirl. I'm sorry, I am. I really liked Superman. I thought it was a good movie.
There's name recognition to think about. See, Superman himself is about as ubiquitous as any fictional character can possibly be. You could pick almost any human being on the face of the earth, from a goat herder in Peru to an izakaya owner in Japan. Show them a picture of Superman and they'll probably know exactly who he is. He's had endless comics, movies, TV shows, cartoons and merchandise made about him for almost 100 years now. He may be one of the single most marketable characters ever created. Well, apart from this fucking thing at least. Supergirl though? Nah, not so much.
I know, Drinker, your whole point here is saying that, like, they're not gonna they're not gonna recognize a girl superhero. Like, Superman's recognizable. Like, the symbol, if we don't listen, I don't know, people are not that dumb. I think you think that people are dumb because, your little group of people, your little fellowship isn't the sharpest tools in the shed. If I see someone with a symbol, let's say a family crest, if I have a family crest and I wear it and I see someone else wearing that family crest, or, okay, I see people walking, I see one person with family crest, another person with that family crest, I'm assuming they're related. Or, in love or something. So, in this situation, Supergirl is related to Superman. So, as famous as Superman is, you can also assume Supergirl. So, in this situation with Supergirl, it applies to her too. Because she has the same crest. People recognize it. And maybe people will be curious. Especially if they saw Superman last year. And they enjoyed it. So that whole thing that you did was just add on time. Because that was the easiest thing to just prove. Prove that you're wrong. It was easy. It was so, what are you... You're at just milking this, aren't you? I didn't look at my background.
Especially in the world of film and TV, which is what we're talking about here. Her first and so far only big screen outing was the disastrous 1984 movie. God bless Helen Slater though, she tried her little heart out with that one. And while the TV show from a few years ago had some fans on the CW, it was hardly a global success. One failed movie from 40 years ago and a mildly successful TV show don't exactly launch a character into the public consciousnness.
Supergirl's been on TV. She's had her own TV show. That means something. Does that not mean something? The CW... It wasn't on the CW before, but, it did good. 6 seasons? That's a long time for a show. A lot of shows don't make the 6 seasons. And now she's getting a movie. Community, can you get on that? But, yeah, it was just a show with 6 seasons. And also, a really good crossover. Have you watched the cross episode with Barry out with the CW Flash and Supergirl meeting each other? I thought that was a good crossover. I was younger though. You would have been in your 30s when it came out. I think I was I was a teenager. So come on, man. Don't diss on a show that was popular. People watched it, and you don't think that people who watched the show would not be interested in seeing a movie with Supergirl? Seeing a new Supergirl. You don't think people are interested at all? I saw the Flash movie with that awful Flash actor because I watched the CW show. Come on. I don't know, you don't think there's someone out there who watched every single episode of the CW Supergirl and they've been waiting for this character to come back, and now they get to watch the character on the big screen. You don't think they're excited? Because come on.
Now, all of this is relevant because Superman, based around a far more popular and well-known character, in the movie that was supposed to relaunch an entirely new universe of DC on film, barely scraped its way to $600 million last year. That is not a good result, no matter how people try to spin it, and realistically, it's probably as good as it's going to get for DC now. I think it's safe to say that Supergirl is going to make less than that did. It's just a question of how much. The reality is that regardless of its creative merits, and that's debatable right now, a movie like Supergirl is weak. It's a lame duck.
You don't really go into what's lame about it, based off a good story. Listen, it's a story I need to read, and you're gonna definitely read it too, Drinker. I'm sure you will. I'm sure you looked into it. I'm sure you're curious. Based off a good story, we got a good actor in it. That article that you talked about in your last video, guess what? It said that Millie was good. And that's generally all I really care about. I want to know this actor can do this. And I'm sure she can. Okay, she got this. You don't need to worry. Your face is scaring me. Wait, I'm the cow in this situation. If you came up to me, I'd be like, ooh. But you don't even talk about the story. You don't talk about the story because you know it's a good story. you know that people praise the story. Like, I don't read comics. Did I listen to Comic Story and talk about the story? Yeah. Was I invested? Yeah. It's good. So, yeah, they're going to make a movie about it because it's a good movie. Also, like, this is a new Supergirl. We're going to see how it feels to... We're going to get, like, a viewpoint of how it feels to lose everything. All she has from Krypton is her dog and her cousin, who was a baby when she left. Like, when she last saw him. And now her dog's going to die. So, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what she does. Sorry if you're not. Also, you haven't talked about the story. How are you fixing Supergirl when you don't even talk about the story? Like, do you have a better story idea for this? A better comic that they could base the story off of that would be better than the story they have now? How are we fixing something? Fixing Supergirl. You're not talking about Supergirl. You're talking about everything around it, around the studio, around the people. And it's not 100% true. You also talked about how female movies do not do well. And you brought in Madam Web. Madam Web isn't the bar. Actually, it's an amazing movie. I think you should watch it again. We should watch it together. Anyways. Like, again, you don't bring up the many male leading movies that failed. Just the female ones. I wonder why. I wonder why.
A more likely scenario is a global haul somewhere in the region of $400 million. Not exactly great, but it also doesn't have to be a disaster either if you keep your budget under control, like under $100 million. Any serious market research would have told them this way in advance.
That you're putting a price, you're telling your audience that it's gonna make $4,000. You have this in video. What if it makes, $6,000? Are you gonna say, well, it was close enough? We don't know, man. Little context here. I didn't see Superman in theaters. I know. I was interested, I was excited, but I wanted to see it first. I just didn't go to see it in theaters. And I saw it in person. I watched it, I bought it. Funny story, but I'm not gonna talk about it on here. But I bought it and I watched it, and I thought it was really good, and I'm excited to see what else this universe has to offer. I also saw the director of this movie directing other movies. Other movies he directed to see what his directing style was like, and I've enjoyed it. I've only seen I, Tonya. There's other movies he made, but I'm curious to see what he will do with this story. Aren't you, Drinker? It is crazy that you're saying $4,000, like $100. It's crazy that you're putting a price on the movie that's not coming out for another 2 months. You don't think they're gonna really start promoting it when May comes around? Goodness, dude, what a dumb thing to do. You're already bringing a movie down when you should be lifting it up, or just not talking about it because you clearly have nothing nice to say. And I don't know, Drinker. My mama told me if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Especially when it comes to women. But I don't think you do that. You don't really do that, do you? I don't think you like women that much. But don't forget, it's a female-led film, so it might fail with the flops of the other one. Dude. Oh, but don't forget, my viewers, that female films usually fail. Why? Oh, I'm not going to tell you completely why, but I think you can guess. Women. Come on, man.
About being a young actress in not one but two major franchises, House of the Dragon and now Supergirl. Now, that was all part of a much bigger and longer interview that covered all manner of topics, but the moment she happened to mention the reaction to her as a woman online, well, guess what every major news outlet decided to lead with? And the thing is, it didn't have to happen that way. All she really needed to say was, fans are free to think whatever they like. All I can say is that I gave this role my best shot, I'm grateful for this opportunity, and hopefully people will give the movie a fair chance and judge for themselves. It's simple, it's humble, and it's uncontroversial. It's not going to win you any fans in the news media, but it's not going to turn your own customers against you. And at the end of the day, those are the important ones.
She said wasn't that bad. She generally just said, hey, people are going to judge me for my, my body, how I do things, how I talk. I'm just going to keep acting. Not exactly. I'm paraphrasing there. You telling a woman how to speak in an interview is crazy. I wouldn't be mad if she said it like this. Dude, you shouldn't care how she talks. She wasn't trying to be rude to people. She was just saying men will talk about my body. I'm going to keep doing my own shit. Keep acting. But maybe she should have said it like this. Who cares? She said it and people got mad. I don't know, man. You tried to defend her, but your way of defending her is you telling her how you would have want her to say it. Putting words in a woman's mouth. Good work, man. Good work, Drinker. You're so cool, man. I wouldn't be mad if she said it like this. Yes, you would. You would. You make money off this, so obviously you care. Obviously you would care no matter what she said. You would just get mad about it and make videos about it. 2 within a week. Because you got that money. You got to get that money. I wouldn't get mad at her. This is what she should have said. Who cares what she said? She wasn't telling people, I want all men to die. I want everyone to just not look at me. She just said, I enjoy acting. People are going to judge my body. I'm going to keep acting. Paraphrasing again. But this is how she should have said, shut up. This is how she should have said it, actually. No, man. You don't get a say on how she should have said something. She's a person, and if she made a mistake, she can come forward and make a mistake, but she hasn't. And you're making a big deal about it. Dude.
And all of this brings me to my third and final unpleasant truth here. Actors can fucking kill your movie. It's Hollywood, baby. Actors today don't just have to perform in the film anymore, they also have to be borderline professional hype men, PR gurus, salesmen, raconteurs, and politicians all rolled into one. And with an entertainment news complex that's always sniffing around for the next headline, one fuck up is all it takes to derail a film's entire promo campaign. Now, I'll admit that some actors are better at this than others. Some are master bullshit artists who can talk for hours without really saying anything and still look good doing it.
I'm curious if that's comparable to this sort of world, this culture of toxic fandom, where if you make a movie, especially if you make a superhero movie, you have great intentions, but there are always going to be a small yet vocal group of people there can kind of just be toxic.
I understand what you're saying, but when it comes to fans, it is a fan's right to have whatever opinion they want to have. And people are going to be upset because, especially when you're talking about books or games, because you're never going to be the exact person who they had in their head or who they played on Witcher 3, for example. I don't necessarily consider that toxic. I just consider that passionate.
Unfortunately, though, others don't just walk straight into the trap. They run into it head first and then keep going like they're taking a fucking victory lap.
How you're putting Henry Cavill versus... Not kind of against... Millie, you're saying, this is how Henry dealt with it. It's weird. You're a weird person. You probably found that interview and you're like, gold mine. Ooh, again, you're making a big deal out of nothing. Also, she was talking about, I believe she was talking about the Game of Thrones spin-off show, House of the Dragon, I think. So different fandoms. It's odd though. It does feel like you are pinning your own self. You are pinning Henry Cavill versus Millie. That's what it looks like. That's what I'm picking up from your video. You're saying, see, this is how a man deals with someone being toxic in an interview. Also, that question wasn't that bad. He did, and completely different questions too. But I just don't get why you're putting people against each other. You're putting people from one DC universe that failed badly. I do think Zack Snyder is a great director. I really did enjoy. What movie have I seen with him? I've definitely seen something with him in it. What have I seen? I can't think of everything right now, but I've seen something with him. I've seen the Superman movie. I seen Man of Steel and I liked it. To Millie, who is a new actor, building her career, and it's tough. It's tough. It's not easy. You know. I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird. I just wanted to point out because other people who's been talking about this video haven't really pointed that out. Again, you're putting actors against each other who did not ask for it. There is no Henry Cavill has never said anything bad about anyone in this new DC universe. I'm sure he's upset, but he's not mad at the actors. The actors are getting a job just like he did. I'm sure he's upset about losing the Superman role, like he enjoyed it. But again, he's always said, like, I'm happy that people are still able to act and be Superman. I wish it was me, but again, I'm happy that, like, you know, there's a new guy and he's good at it. You putting people against each other is weird, and I don't like it.
The most extreme example is obviously going to be Rachel Zegler, whose never-ending cavalcade of PR disasters obliterated any chance of success for Snow White, but there's plenty of others that have walked the same tragic path. Brie Larson effectively derailed her career for at least half a decade by coming across as prickly, aloof, combative, and about as likeable as a shit sandwich during her Captain Marvel interviews.
We should put you in a room with these three people you just talked about and see what you say. Again, they're actors, they mess up, and it's also like their mess up wasn't that bad, but you really hyper focus on Zegler and Brie. It's weird. Brie Larson can have a YouTube channel, Drinker. You're not the only one who can have one, okay? Rachel is a young actor, very passionate about, passionate about Palestine and other things that she's able to talk about because she now has a voice to talk about it. And if that upsets you, okay, man, you don't have to listen to her. You know what you really don't have to do? You really don't have to bring her up in every YouTube video where you talk about, women or people. I'm sure I should watch your Crash and Burn series. She's also young. She's my age. She can still come back and do other movies. Like, you thinking, like, when she's your age, Drinker, you're going to be older. And she's probably going to have a lot of film opportunities during that time. In the 20 years, I'm sure she's going to keep getting movie roles. And you're going to keep on complaining forever until you pass away. I want you to be in a room with them. I want Mr. Beast, if you can hear me. Mr. Beast, please put the Critical Drinker in a room with these three women and see what happened. I just want to see what happened. Please, Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast, please use the money that you got from Saudi Arabia to make a amusement park to put the Critical Drinker and these three women in a room together. Please, Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast, if you can hear me, please. But yeah, no, man. Odd thing to do. What's this? Oh, so you're not fixing Supergirl. You said, I'm going to try and fix it. You're fixing a movie. You're not even talking about the movie. You're talking about the actors in the movie. Yeah, that's a big part of the movie. But you're not talking about, like, hey, maybe work on getting a composer. Composer? Person writes music. Movie composer? I don't know if I said that right. Earlier, so you don't have an issue when your movie releasing. You only had 3 months for someone to make music for your movie. And I'll be like, you know what, Drinker, you're right. That's a great way to fix this movie. It's not that bad. But now you're talking about actors and, like, someone being, a female actor being put on the spot by the media. Has that never happened before? I don't know. It doesn't sound like a common occurrence. Anyways.
So in a nutshell then, the Drinker's advice for fixing Supergirl's PR and giving the movie a better chance of success could be boiled down to 3 simple steps. 1. Recognise this film isn't going to be a heavy hitter at the box office and either release it later into the slate when there's other bigger films to support it, or adjust the budget accordingly.
At this point, the title is Supergirl. Last year, we had Superman. I think people are smart enough to put 2 and 2 together and realize, oh, it's the same kind of superhero show that I saw last year, and I liked it. They can push this. And they should. And they're probably going to. We're not going to push a movie with Supergirl in it because she's not a man. Are we dumb? Are we silly? Are we being silly right now? What are you saying? Guys, everyone, we shouldn't promote this movie anymore. You know why? Because it's not Superman. It's not Wonder Woman. Batman sells. So we need to not push this movie more. No, push this. Promote it.
2. Recognize that the media aren't your friends and the paying customers aren't your enemies. And treat both accordingly.
The media isn't... Well, I mean, media, you have to promote your movie. You have to promote your movie. And no one's... What do you mean, enemy? Because she says, I'm just going to keep acting even though people will judge my body. That's a basic statement, and no one's making a big deal about it. You are, drinker. Because you got to milk that cow, Like, come on, man. No one's really making a big deal, but it's not that big of a deal. What she said wasn't that big of a deal. Come on. Are you upset because she said men? Men will judge my body? It's a common... It happens, unfortunately. It's like she's speaking from experience or something. I don't know. Anyways.
3. Recognize that actors can and do say stupid things, and young and impressionable actors most of all, so be very careful about who they talk to and what they say.
Sure, Water Bros, WB, very aware that their actors can do dumb things. I mentioned this before. The Flash actor, the guy who terrorized, the guy that hunted people in Hawaii, like, I'm sure they're, telling Millie not to say, like, stupid things or, anything like that. You're really making this a bigger deal than it is. It's not that big of a deal. A lot of people on Twitter are talking about this, and you're talking about this, and your little fellowship of fun friends are talking about it. Aside from that, like, not that much is happening. It's not that big of a deal. You know what? It would be a big deal. Mr. Beast, please put the critical drinker and Millie and Millie Bobby Brown too, and Rachel and Brie Larson in a room together and see what happens. Also, Brie, you can have a YouTube channel. Don't listen to what the critical drinker says. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Mr. Beast, please.
I'm not going to pretend you'd end up with a money printing machine on your hands if you do this stuff, but you'd at least have a better shot at success. And really, I think this advice would apply to most Hollywood films at this point. I know it's not going to matter. I know they're never going to listen to some drunken asshole like me, but hey, at least I can say I tried.
That's the video, guys. Drinker, I hope you're okay. I think you should just do your vlogging thing where you go around the UK talking about film locations. It seems like something you enjoy. And you look like you're having fun. And I like it when people have fun. So keep doing that. I'm not going to watch it. I don't like you. I'm sorry. My criticism there. Not my criticism. That's my judgment, I guess. I just think you just don't like, women. And I think, you need to do different videos because these aren't good. Your criticism isn't good. You didn't talk about the story of the movie you want to fix. I watch people talk about, making their own trilogies of movies, making their own Spider-Man trilogies of movies, and they talk about the story. The Drinker fixes Supergirl. How not to tank your movie? I just read your title, sorry, it's right there. But what are you don't even talk about the story. You know why? Because the story's good. It's going to be really good. That's it, guys. Enjoy. Subscribe. I really don't like this kind of content that the Drinker makes. It's not good. I really hate when he does videos with the same topic, the same kind of, like Supergirl video this day, video in between, another Supergirl video within under 10 days. Under 10-day space. Like, we know you need the views. But... maybe promote, your fun little adventures in the UK. I'm not going to watch your whole video, but the stuff I watched was pretty good. Anyways, take care, bye.